Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Wade into Wealth. I'm Chuck. This is my brother, Ethan. I'm coming up on 10 years here at Brighton Securities in March of 2022. Not quite as long for you, but I think you've been in the business just about the same amount of time.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
between the two of us, 20 years. Hey, before we get started today, I think we should say a couple of thank yous. We have now, us, Wade into Wealth, has been listened to in 24 countries around the world. Do you know that?
Nope.
I don't think you knew the exact number.
Did not.
I had to look it up last
Did
night.
not.
Every continent except Antarctica.
Need to find a listener up
Got
there
to find
somewhere.
someone in Antarctica.
Any polar bears listen to this podcast?
They do. They do. I don't know.
I know we're in 44 states. We
We got the
check
state
off some
covered.
more. Check off some more.
Yeah, and a big thank you to anyone who's taken the time to spend some time listening to us jabber on. I know sometimes this isn't the most interesting stuff in the world.
Not when you talk, no.
No, but we try to make it fun and sometimes entertaining. So thank you. Thank you for being with us wherever you are. And if you're in an international country or foreign country, feel free to shoot us a line. Let us know who you are, where you're listening from. We'd love to know.
Particularly in Antarctica.
Particularly
Like to
in
check that
Antarctica.
one off the box.
Yeah, well, goals. That was our first podcast. It's good to have goals
That's right.
to shoot for.
That's right.
So I flew to Atlanta this past weekend for a 50K race with a friend, and I think this is a good segue into what we're going to talk about today because a couple days before I'm going to leave, I was flying Delta out of Rochester, and I get an email that says, "Hey, we've selected you to upgrade to first class." Thought, okay, well, that seems like a nice thing for you to do. And then I went and looked, and I thought, well, why would they be doing that? The reality was Delta had unsold seats in first class, and they were trying to unload them.
Mm-hmm.
So that got me thinking, and
Did you do it? I've never flown first class before.
I did not. No.
It's another one I'd like to check off my bucket list at some point.
Yeah,
Southwest, no first class.
for the $160 one way, it was only an hour and a half flight. I can suck it up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you suck it up.
Mhm.
But that gets me thinking. Just another way airlines make money. I'd already bought my ticket. They wanted me to pay another $160 for a one-way first-class flight. It wasn't both ways. It was one way.
May not be so much as a way for them to make money as much as a way for them to lose less money in that scenario.
There you go.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, a way for them to lose less money. Did you
'Cause
know
those seats are premium seats that they want filled?
they are? Yeah.
So then when those fly empty, not great.
So that's what we're going to talk about this week. How stuff costs more and ways that companies and businesses keep it from you. Nobody wants to be advertising, hey, our stuff costs more than it did a year ago.
No, because consumers have a pretty loud voice,
Mhm.
especially now in the day and age with social media.
Yeah.
It's really given the consumer a much stronger voice and a much bigger say, because when you start announcing these large price increases, you're naturally going to get pushback from the folks that are buying your products. And so it's how are these companies balancing, and what types of strategies do they use to be able to raise prices to their consumers in a way that they're not going to lose their customers, and perhaps in a way where people don't even really notice it.
I think that's the first one, is actually in a way where you don't notice it or realize it, or you think you're getting a deal.
Yes.
Or you think you're
Yes.
getting a deal. I think it's a toss-up. So let's talk about airlines for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The average cost of a plane ticket's only gone up about $20 over the last 20 years.
Right.
Not that much. However, 20 years ago, most airlines gave you 2 free checked bags.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, they unbundled a lot of their services.
Right.
So while the plane ticket, meaning you having a seat in a ride, hasn't changed much, you do have to pay more to put a bag on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay more if you want food or a meal or anything else on that plane.
Seats are smaller, too.
And far less comfortable.
Far less comfortable. Because where there was once 2 seats, there are now 3, so there's an
Mm-hmm.
extra passenger. You multiply that by 30, 60, however many rows there are on the plane, that's extra revenue. Another way is, and you see this a lot, I mean, I remember the first flight I ever took, a friend of mine's mom had frequent flyer miles, and they needed to use them. They were going to expire. And so like 4 of us, my friends and I, went to Boston and just raised hell for a weekend. Frequent flyer miles, not as good of a deal. They carry less value. You need to accumulate more of them. You need to spend more money, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Yeah, rewards have been declining.
Yeah, airlines is an easy one. What else?
Bags of chips.
Bags of chips. You know, it's funny. They had the same thing.
Well, I guess cereal boxes are what really get me. Because I look at them, I think that box of cereal is so small. Because the way that it's raising prices without raising prices, right? I mean, the box of the cereal, the price for that doesn't change.
No.
But the amount of cereal and the size of the box that you're getting is smaller. So technically your price has been raised because you're not getting as much as you otherwise would. But the boxes of cereal, and I don't eat cereal. It's just when I walk by them in the store, I'd love to eat cereal. I used to love that as a kid.
What was your favorite cereal growing up?
Cinnamon Toast
Cinnamon
Crunch.
Toast was the best.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was
hands down.
Phenomenal.
Tricks.
Brennan
I like
does not
Tricks.
like Tricks. I'm good with that. Fruit Loops. Was it Fruit Loops? No.
Yeah, Fruit. I don't ever remember us having Fruit Loops.
Oh, I love those.
Kicks.
Kicks were okay. Kicks were like mom
Kid
and dad.
tested, mother approved.
Yeah, mom and dad will let you have Kicks, and I was like, all right, this is okay. But there were far better.
No, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, hands down.
And the cinnamon milk at the end was the best.
Chef's kiss. Amazing breakfast. Amazing breakfast. So let's just segue for a second.
Also,
tell the story.
Big question.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. You first.
I can only have cereal with skim milk. What about you? I can't drink like 2%. I can't.
So
I don't enjoy the taste.
I haven't drank regular milk in years.
Well, yeah, neither have I.
So I typically will have like soy milk or almond
Well,
milk.
yeah, I know that. Come on, as kids.
Yeah,
would
only
you
skim
drink
milk. Yeah, only skim milk.
I haven't had a natural glass of milk, and I couldn't tell you how long. But when we were kids, we weren't drinking that.
Yeah.
Only skim milk.
Let's just segue for a second. Your vitamins. What did you do with your growing up when we were kids? You hated vitamins.
Well, I mean,
correct?
They tasted terrible.
They didn't taste
sure
great.
I wasn't
They
the
didn't
only
taste
kid.
great.
The chewable, like Flintstone vitamins, I can still
taste
feel
that
the
texture.
grit in your teeth. They were disgusting.
Yeah,
so
I can taste it.
I had two spots. Because if mom and dad didn't see the vitamin anymore, they just assumed I had consumed it.
Would you cheek it? Like, would you put it in your mouth?
No, absolutely not. I wasn't getting any of that taste in my mouth. We had a dry sink. Yeah, I would take it. We had a dry sink that lined one wall, and I would occasionally drop them back there.
Dry sink's like just a wood structure.
Yeah, wood structure. It's like storage, decorative storage thing. And I would drop them back there.
Yeah.
So it would kind of be behind it, but it would line on the base of the baseboard of the wall. Or the other one was, which they never found these, and no one's going to find them until they start breaking down the walls in that house. Underneath the breakfast counter that we had, there was a little gap, so I used to just put them in the wall underneath the breakfast counter. But we moved that dry sink one day, and they found all of the all the vitamins that were just lined up along the baseboard of the wall. Those were disgusting. Flintstones chewable vitamins.
Yeah.
Don't bring those around.
I remember that grit. Yeah, they weren't great.
Yeah, it was disgusting. But back to cereal box sizes.
Yeah.
Or just in general, they are giving you less. Mm-hmm. They are making you pay the same, but they're giving you less. And one thing I didn't realize, I always thought jumbo bag of chips or party size meant you're getting a better deal.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, these companies are actually marking those ones up more.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a more profitable item. And so what are they going to do? In the grocery store, those are going to be the ones that are at eye level.
Or on an end cap.
In school.
Yeah.
Where the marketing in a grocery store for placement on
it's very
the
aggressive.
Shelves is very aggressive and very expensive.
Very aggressive.
Being at eye level as opposed to being down where you have to bend over to pick up the item. It's interesting at the amount of thought that goes into it, but they understand their business.
There is nothing there is nothing inside of Wegmans that is not strategically placed or paid for.
Nope, correct.
And you want to be eye level. It's why you look. I mean, you look at the bottom shelf. A lot of stuff you haven't heard of or you're not familiar with, but the name brands, they're right at eye level. They're easy to reach. Often they're on an end cap. There's promotions where they're trying to sell something. And your cereal observation was interesting because to me, I see it as a lot of the boxes are bigger, but they don't necessarily have as much in them.
Yeah,
I see both sides of it. I see both sides of that because I see boxes are larger, but the volume inside of them is not necessarily as much. It's like the big bag of chips that's got it's half air, right?
Air products and chemicals.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
But yeah, that is interesting because there's probably also, I think what's it's not confusing, but where we may have our discrepancy is there's just, like your normal size of a cereal box, and then there's your family size now.
Yes.
And what I'm talking about is just the typical normal size, because when we were younger, I don't think I remember you could get, mom and dad would every once in a while get like this it was this huge box.
Yeah.
And it had like 4 bags of cereal inside of it. Like that was the value pack that they used to be able to get. And I don't remember there being these large like family size things of cereal. It was just your normal box. But that gives us a great segue into warehouse. What do they call Costco? I'm thinking of Costco.
Yeah,
BJ,
warehouses,
Sam's
Costco,
Clubs.
BJ, Sam's Club doesn't exist anymore.
We often don't think about the
membership fee.
The membership fee.
Yeah.
And we kind of consider it as a sunk cost. And really it is. A sunk cost means an expense that you paid that you're not going to get back. You can't recover that once it's been paid. And so that is. But now if you're shopping there regularly, consistently, you probably end up getting a better deal. But there isn't so much that those deals are necessarily overwhelmingly better at these warehouse stores, especially when you factor in your membership fee that you have to pay.
Yeah.
I think we often forget that. But again, if you're going there all the time consistently, the membership fee all of a sudden whittles itself down.
Yeah.
But if it's a couple trips a year, your membership fee's tacking on real money to that purchase.
Membership fee, you'll see it. I mean, convenience fee. If you're buying something online, there's a convenience fee. Anything fee. Those are all little ways that companies put that in there to make a couple extra bucks off of you. Okay. Light bulb.
How about like the buy 3, get 1? No. What I think of is we don't have pop in our house, but you could go to Tops and get like, if you get 3 things of pop, I don't say soda.
Yeah, I know.
Of the boxes of cans.
Yeah,
they'll give them to you for like a great deal. Well, who needs 3 of those things?
Right.
So you just keep buying these large amounts because they know we want you buying more of these. Or the free shipping that costs increasing from $45 up to $100. Where psychologically we think, well, instead of spending $15 on shipping, I'll just spend another $50 on items.
Right. Because I'm close to free shipping.
Because shipping, just delivering something to my house.
Right.
At least if I'm paying this, I'm getting some aboard. But you're also paying 3 times more than you would for the shipping.
Yep. Yeah. And what's happening is a lot of companies are actually taking shipping into their own hands.
Yeah.
Larger ones taking shipping into their own hands, which is allowing them to reduce their costs, reduce their shipping costs. Yep. And so Amazon's the same way. Amazon Prime. Now, look, I think the Wade family probably wins on Amazon Prime with the free shipping because we get a lot from Amazon.
Sure.
But Amazon Prime shipping's not free. That cost is built into the annual fee that you pay on Amazon. One more that I think is appropriate to talk before we get out of here is Black Friday. This always gets me because the fact is that a lot of companies, the ones that are most aggressive on Black Friday, that is the price they are willing to sell their goods at.
Sure, yeah.
And that is marked into their projections and their reporting. So to me, I look at it and you say, well, the rest of the year, they're just overcharging you because they're willing to sell you. They're willing to sell you the 55-inch flat screen TV for $999, but they're going to sell it for $1,200 up until a month before Black Friday.
Yep. Keep
that in mind. Black Friday, I don't think of it as the best deals. Although maybe it is the best deals. I just think of it, well, the other 9 months of the year, they're ripping you off. 10 months of the year, they're ripping you off.
Well, I mean, you took a really interesting way to come back to, those probably are the best deals that you're going to get.
They are the best deals you're going to get.
Because they're not necessarily ripping you off completely in that scenario.
They just are the other 10 months of the year.
Because then people will pay it.
And that is the key,
the consumer speaks. If you stop buying it, I will never forget the movie Toy Story. Love the movie Toy Story.
Great movie.
One of my favorite movies as a kid.
There's a snake in my boots.
Yeah, there you go, Woody. Griffin likes Toy Story. Big fan of Toy Story. And in Target, they had these Woody Buzz Lightyear and I think a Bo Peep. Like they were supposed to be, they came with like a certificate or something, and they were supposed to be the size of the ones in the movie.
Oh,
as much.
You had that. They were out on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we have.
He was playing with them because we were talking about it on Thanksgiving.
There's a story to this.
Okay.
We were in Target, and Brenda and I were looking and thought, wow, that's really cool. We looked at the price. $90 for one of those. There's no way we're getting that. That is just ridiculous. A couple weeks later, we go, $20. The consumer speaks.
Yep.
When you don't buy it and we don't pay that price, they will reduce it down to the amount that they're willing to accept to get that off the shelves. And so the more that we buy those things, they're less likely to be lowering these prices because from a business standpoint, they're making more money.
Right. And why would
they're
they lower it?
profitable, and you're still buying it. They're not seeing, they may lose some, but if the increase in cost more than offsets the amount that of consumers that they lose, they're making more money as a result of that. So the consumer, the best way to make your voice heard is to not buy it. The company will eventually get the hint, and they will lower that price.
Yeah, and that goes for anything. We've seen that in real estate this year. What's that house worth? Doesn't matter. It's worth what someone's willing to pay for it.
That's any investment.
Anything, really. What's that good worth? Well, it's worth what someone's willing to pay for it.
Yep.
And just keep that in mind. We got a couple weeks left in this holiday season. Hopefully you're ahead on your shopping because inventories basically don't exist in a lot of places. But keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes that deal may not be as good a deal as it sounds. These stores, they're not UNICEF. They're not charities.
Nope. And when they try to get you to buy more, just think about it. Is it really worth me spending an extra $50 to save $10, $15 on shipping?
Yeah. It's not random. It's not random.
No,
Sales aren't random. Those end caps at Wegmans, not random.
Businesses have entire pricing departments.
They do.
To help figure this stuff out.
They do.
It's done with a purpose.
Yeah. You know what's a good deal? This podcast.
That's right.
It's free.
Free 99.
Okay. We're back next week. We'll end on that note because, can't get worse. Thanks again. This is Wade into Wealth.